Hello all. Welcome to another session regarding nanochemistry. So, what is nanochemistry? It's a branch of nanoscience. It deals with the chemical application of nanomaterials in nanotechnology. It involves the study of synthesis and characterization of materials at a nanoscale. So, a nanoscale means 1 to 100 nanometers. That is, a unique properties arises to the particles when they associate or assemble themselves at a nanoscale size. So this is an example to understand the size of a nanoparticle. An ordinary particle of 10 centimeter at your left-hand corner, and when you break the things into smaller and smaller and smaller, it reaches to 1 nanometer, that is 10 to the power minus 9 meter. It becomes very, very small. So when the particle is converted to a nanoscale, what happens? And how can it be done? There are certain physical and chemical quantities in manipulating the atoms. So some physical techniques which allows the manipulation and positioning the atoms of their specific requirements. And there are some traditional methods too, which involves the chemical reaction. So nanochemistry is a science of tools, technologies, and methodologies for novel chemical synthesis. That is, employing a synthetic chemistry to make a nanoscale building blocks of a desired shape, size, composition, and surface structure, and possibly the potential to control the actual self-assembly of these building blocks. So these nanoparticles have surface to volume ratio, which has a dramatic effect on their properties compared to the material which are at non-nanoscale. So the reason where the nanoparticles behaves differently than the bulk material is their surface to volume ratio goes on increasing. So a nanoparticle size ranges from 1 to 50 nanometers. Generally, they are obtained as colloids. So consider this, the colloid particles have a tendency to remain as a single crystal, or they're called as a nano crystals. So this is the some typical picture of quantum dots, that is iron oxide nano material of a 20 nanometer size, which is obtained from TIM and SEN images. So a nanocrystal possesses different electronic, magnetic, and optical properties. So these exhibits the electronic behavior. They are governed by the quantum physics. Generally, we call it as quantum dots. The nanomaterials have different dimensions. They are one-dimensional nanomaterials, example, thin film and surface coatings. There are two-dimensional nanomaterials, nanotubes and nanowires are the examples. Three-dimensional nanomaterials, these are precipitates, colloids, quantum dots are the typical examples. So this is for one-dimensional, that is film layer coating. Two-dimensional, nanotube, nanowire, and three, it is dot, nanoshells, microcapsules, etc. So what about the physical and characters of a nanomaterial? So nanomaterials possess a very good electrical property and thermal conductivity. They can withstand a very extreme strain and tension. So the physiochemical properties such as size, shape, composition, surface to volume ratio, aggregation ability, and surface and corona, the surface charge, and other some properties drastically changes when every particle is converted to a small size. So these changes have a wide application in drug labeling, gene delivery, diagnosis of certain disease, reduction and imaging and tissue engineering, and also drug delivery techniques or simply the nanotoxicology is an emerging field which depends on the size of a material. So it has a wide application. When we convert a huge material into a nano size, there are a lot of applications in biomedical, healthcare, construction materials, electronic storage, environmental remediations, food packings, and renewable energy. Thank you.